so many other stories where the cameras never lie. They're the only way of finding out what went on. So Jay Shadler kicks us off with the story of a true-life karate kid. But any dreams of black belt fame are about to go up in flames, literally.
Now, when I say go, let's do it together. Ready? Go!
For 22-year-old John Antonucci, a prison cell is about the last place he or anyone who knew him would have guessed he'd call home.
I, thought I was invincible and I had everything going for me. Good family, good church, good skills, job.
To share the gospel and to share...
He was a role model, a preacher's son, eager to spread the word of God. And he was the shining star of a local karate program called Young Champions, earning a black belt and soon the title of sensei, teaching kids the values of discipline and respect. But on the night of June 14th, 2009, everything this young champion held dear would go up in flames.
Fire department, what's the location of your emergency?
There's a fire on 40th Street.
It was just after midnight that the fire was dispatched.
Phoenix fire investigator Marika McHugh arrived on the scene to the Young Champions building ablaze. But there was something else, too.
Do you see flames?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
the fire
I see a man burning.
There's a man up there?
Yes, he's burning.
There was a fatality, and the fatality was right at the front of the building.
The dead man is unrecognizable, except for one small but curious clue.
There was a very small tattoo, and to me, the tattoo looked like a Roman numeral 2.
One of the Young Champion employees now at the scene tells McHugh he's seen that tattoo on someone he knows.
And I said, well, who do you think it is? And he gave us a name.
Name?
Josh Robinson. And I said, well, who does Josh Robinson hang out with? And he said, John Antonucci. And then he said, and they're as thick as thieves. Well, that, for an investigator, is priceless.
I don't know what happened. Like I said,
John arrives for questioning, looking straight-laced in a jacket and tie. But by now, McHugh knows there's another side to the fresh-faced preacher's son, and much more to his story. Young Champions was investigating both John and Josh for embezzling thousands of dollars.
John has been fired for the embezzlement. They were considering that Josh was also involved.
And John's alibi is paper thin. He says he and Josh were supposed to drive to Utah that night. But then, a clue that would prick up any fire investigator's ears, he claims they wanted extra gasoline for their trip.
We went to Walmart, we got like an extra gas can. He said, I gotta go do something quick, I'll be right back. And I go, okay, and he goes, I'll be right back. I said, okay, I haven't seen him since then.
The alarm bells in McHugh's head are going off. She knows Josh's car was not found at the scene. So who drove him there? Guess who?
I have 2 very credible witnesses.
Okay.
And 2 of them place a vehicle that matches your description to a T. One of them says he can identify the driver. This is your opportunity to come clean and let me know if you were there.
I wouldn't help him.
Did he ask you to?
Couldn't do it.
John changes his tune. In his revised story, he now says Josh planned the fire all on his own, and arson meant to destroy the documents that would prove Josh was stealing from Young Champions.
He said, come on, I need help with this. I said, I'm not helping you. He said, fine, and he got out.
When he got out, what did you do then?
I sat there and prayed.
At the end of the interview, he still denied being inside the building, but he admitted to driving Josh there.
Maybe that story would have held up, but soon investigators make a startling discovery. Amidst the wreckage of the building, in a corner protected by mangled steel, is the hard drive to the company's security camera.
Phoenix PD took it, and that same day I get a phone call, and they said, hey, we've got something, you're gonna like this is pretty amazing.
And it was. Triggered by the flash of the fire igniting, the motion-activated camera caught these critical seconds. recording and illuminating both the crime and the criminals. That's right, turns out Josh had company.
In one of the images, they have 3 people.
3 people? Look closely. Clearly one figure's on fire, and another looks suspiciously like John. But who is that third person? McHugh recalls that curious detail from John's interview about buying the extra gasoline.
That was really odd that he would even bring that up.
Feeling lucky, she pulls the store's security video. Lo and behold, another caught-on-tape clue. Josh, John, and 2 more people with gas cans. 1 male and 1 female. Their body types and hair just happen to match fellow Young Champion instructors Moniza Murillo and Jeff Otto. Under questioning, Otto is tight-lipped, but Moniza can't stand the heat and gives up her friends.
Nobody else can tell your story for us. Did you see the fire ignited?
The ground when it ignited.
And you guys broke the window to get in, correct?
Yes.
Who broke the window?
John.
Why have you decided to tell the truth?
I'm just really scared.
Finally, McHugh gets the whole story.
What happened in there?
They poured 20 gallons of fuel in one office. What Josh ended up doing is that he struck 1 match. That's all he did. 1 match, and all the vapors around him in the room ignited.
In a crime where no one was supposed to get hurt, Josh is dead, consumed in flames while the other 3 fled the scene.
It didn't start out smart, it didn't end smart, and it was really never smart in the middle.
John, Moniza, and Jeff are charged with arson, and because Josh died, a murder charge gets tacked on too. All 3 accept plea deals for manslaughter.
Moniza Murillo was, of all 3 of them, really was remorseful of her involvement.
If you had a chance to say something to his parents, what would you say?
That I'm sorry for their loss. I really am sorry. I promise that I didn't just leave him to die like that, like people think.
Moniza is sentenced to 4 years, but the judge has less mercy for John. He gets 14 years in prison and a lifetime of regret.
I can never say enough how sorry I am. And even by me saying sorry doesn't fix anything.
McHugh's case was closed. But remember, this whole thing began with the idea of destroying evidence of Josh's embezzlement. So what happened to the paper trail?
The greatest irony of all is the records weren't even in the building.
What they came to burn was already gone.
It was already gone. So their whole motivation wasn't even in the building.
Did you tell that to any of them?
No.
I wonder if they know.
When your show comes out, they will.